Dear viewer, I welcome you to this lesson of a topic in Primary 4, that is location of our district. In this term, I know you are from Primary 3. In this Primary 4 class, we are going to be having 6 topics which are grouped in 2, that is each term. And this first term, we are going to be looking at 2 of them. We are going to be looking at the 2 topics that we discussed in the first term. One of them, we are going to look at the location of our district. Location of our district. This is one. Then after us understanding the location of our district, we shall also understand the second topic, that is, we shall understand the physical features which are in our district. Physical features in our district. These are the 2 topics that we are meant to understand in this term. So we are going to be looking at these topics one by one, and in this very discussion, we want to begin with topic 1, that is location of our district. So we are going to make this our topic of discussion, and we shall make our heading location of our district. Now, when we are looking at location of our district, there is a word that we need to understand what it means, and that is the word location. We should be able to define the meaning of location. What does location mean? The word location carries 2 definitions. One, we can say location means a position where something is found. A position where something is found. It can be something or someone, where someone stays, can also be the location of that person. So that is definition number 1. Definition number 2, location can mean a process of finding out, or finding, a process of finding, that is the position, a process of finding the position of either an area or someone, or it can be a place. You can say location refers to a process of finding the position of an area or a place. That is the second definition to the other first one that we termed as where someone or where something is found. That is the meaning of location. Now, when we are looking at our topic, location of our district, it means that we are going to look at where do we find our district. But before we go to answer that question, we first need to understand that what is the name of that district that we are going to locate. So that means we are going to first identify our district. When we are asked to write the name of our district, don't write because like your school is in Train-Up is found in Kampala. So don't say if you are like you have come from, maybe you are from Northern, you are from Gulu, you are from maybe Arua, Amolatar, Mbokolo, Moyo, Yumbe, or any other district of Uganda. Don't go and write that district. The question wants you to write the district where that school is found. So, if we are to understand, we shall be able to know that our district is called, like I said, for us, in Train-Up, we are found in Kampala. So our district is called Kampala. So we are in Kampala district. That is the first thing that we need to note. when we are looking at the location of our district. Now, the other thing we need to understand is that in which region do we find our district? Which means we are having regions that make up Uganda. Regions that make up Uganda. Regions that make up Uganda as a country. Regions that make up Uganda. So we are going to look at this region. One, our district, Kampala, is found in the central region of Uganda. So this is another answer that we have got. They can be asking us, in which region do we find our district? Then you must know that our district, Kampala, is found in the central region of Uganda. Of course, Uganda is now our country where we live. Two, we have another region. We have the northern region. We have the northern region in Uganda. Then we have the western region. We have the western region. We also have what we call the northeastern region. Northeastern region. This is where we find, this is around the Karamoja area. That is also another region that we have in Uganda. Then we have also the western region, but that one we cannot put it because here we're looking at the compass direction. The other one we can bring it as a sub-region when we come to look at that. Now, when we are looking at location of our districts, there are things that we need to first of all go back and we understand that we discussed in the previous classes, like primary 3 and downwards. They are the ones that we are going to use to guide us through this lesson. So we are going back to understand what we call maps and pictures. Maps and pictures. So we are going to go back. Like I said, this is something like a revision that we finished talk about, but we are first of all going to understand this. Then we shall now come back and we shall understand more about our district. So what do we mean by a map? Of course, here we are having two words that we have defined. We have a map, then we shall be having a picture. A map and a picture. What do we mean by a map? I'm sure it's not your first time to hear about a map. What is a map? So one can say a map can simply be defined as a drawing of an object. A map is a drawing of an object as seen from above. That is the definition of a map. A drawing of an object as seen from above. I want to clear some mistakes that we always make in the P4 class. Some of us, when we are asked to define a map, we say a map is a drawing of an object, then you write as seen. Hope you are seeing this. Instead of you saying as seen, you join it as one word, as seen, and when you do this, the teacher will roast you. So you need to write this as two words. A map is a drawing of an object as seen from above, meaning the way it is seen from above. Then this one for a picture is this. We are going to use the same statement, then we shall only change the direction from which this object was taken. So we are going to have our next definition, a picture. We say we are going to use the same words, a drawing of an object as seen. Don't write as seen. Do not write as seen. Write as seen. I say this one is now seen from aside. The word aside is one word. Do not separate a from side. If you write it like this, then you will be writing aside, which will be wrong. The word we are having is aside. So that is the definition for a picture, which means a drawing of an object the way it was taken from where? From the side. Now, if we are to be asked to tell what is the difference between a map and a picture, according to our definition, according to the two definitions we have given, what is the difference between a map and a picture? You will find that a map is a representation. That is another word we will use. A map is drawn as seen from above, while a picture is a representation of an object as seen from aside. That is the difference. A map is drawn as seen from above, while a picture is drawn as seen from where? Aside. That is the difference, the similarity. Then when we go to look at the difference, what makes a map, when we look at the similarity, what makes a map to be the same as or to be similar to a picture? The similarity is both are representations. These are not the real objects, but we are drawing them the way we saw them. So both are drawings, or we say both are representations of objects. Now, we are going also to understand how do we represent these maps and these pictures. How to represent maps and pictures. Which means we are going to be having two columns here. We are going to be having one, maps. How do we represent a map? Then here we are going to have a picture of that object. How is that object drawn from a side? If we could get any examples, for example, we can draw a picture of like a table. Fine, let's begin with that one. If we are asked to draw a table, you see picture, meaning the way it's seen from a side. You will find that, let us change, let's begin from picture this way, then we have the map this side. The picture of that object, then we bring the map this way. I said if we are to draw a picture of a table, you will find that we can draw our table like this. We are drawing our table. We have drawn our table like this. This is how we draw a table, and this is its picture. Meaning this table is seen from a side. Now when it comes to the map, we are going to be seeing this table, only that top part of the table, the way we see it from where? Above. Which means our table, we are going to take that part that we see from up. So we shall have our diagram drawn like that. So this is the map symbol for a table. Then if we had others, for example, we can have a map symbol for a hat. Or let's begin from a tree. There is no space this way, so let me draw it this way. If we are asked to draw the map symbol, the picture and the map of a tree. If we are seeing this tree from a side, you will find that we shall be able to have this tree drawn in like this. Meaning this tree was drawn the way it was seen from where? Aside. Now we are going to look at to draw this tree the way it was seen from above. Meaning someone was up and was not looking at the tree. So we will find that that person will be able to see only that top part of the tree. So this can be the map of a tree. And also other diagrams, other objects that can be drawn in different ways. That is how we represent objects, that is in terms of maps and pictures. Like I said, there are others that can be represented. In your book, you are also given a cup. Of course, with a cup, we know it very well. A cup is drawn and there is a handle here. That is a map, a picture of a cup. You have seen the cup drawn from where? From a side. Now, when it comes to the map, meaning this cup is going to be drawn from up, someone who is drawing it from up will be able to see this upper part of the cup that we are going to draw like this. Then remember that there is also this part here. This person from up will also be able to see this handle. Are you seeing this handle? So this handle will now also appear like that. So that is how we represent a cup. And the other pictures, other objects, we cannot be able to finish all of them. Now, let's look at another heading. We are looking at location. We are continuing with our lesson and let's discuss the elements of a good map. Like I say, this is not looking something new to us, not something new. It is a revision. We learned about this in the previous classes. So we are going to look at which are the elements of a good map. We are looking at the quality, the things that a good map should have, and these are the elements that enable a map reader to understand a given map in an easy way. We have one, let's have the map title. We have the map title. Two, we have a compass direction. A compass direction. Not a compass, but it's a compass direction. That is the element of a map. Then three, we can have a map key. A map key. We have the map scale. Map scale. Then we can have the map boundary. These are the elements that we have of a good map. The map title, can also be called the heading. Just from the word title. An example is when you are in class, when you are learning, you find that your teacher writes at a date. After the date, the teacher says, today we are going to learn about maybe location of Uganda, or location of our district. Now that one becomes the heading or a title, which means that every map, for it to be read properly and easily, it should be having the what? The title. Because it is this title that will enable that person reading that map to understand what the map is all about. So, the other challenge that I want to bring to you is that we always make mistakes. When we are asked to write the different the elements, then we have another question that can ask us to write the qualities of a good map. Sometimes we make serious mistakes here. When we are asked to tell or state the qualities, that's now when we say a good map should have map title. A good map should have a compass. That's a quality. A good map should have map key. A good map should have like that. But if the question is just asking you, mention any two elements of weather, you are just supposed to write this. map key, map scale, boundary, compass direction, like that. So just like we are saying that we are going to understand these elements, and one I want us, we have already talked about a map title. We have said the map title enables one to understand what the map is all about. And this title is always written on top of that map. It will tell what the map is about. 2, we are having a compass direction. Of course, a compass direction, this is the one which helps us to tell the directions of places. Compass direction, let's have it as our subheading, a compass direction. A compass direction, we are saying this is an element of a good map. It is an element of a good map that is used to show directions of places. One thing I need you to understand is we have a compass and then a compass direction. A compass is an instrument that is used to locate places, whereas a compass direction is that element of a good map that is used to show directions. So, if we are to understand well, you will find that our compass, you will find they can draw our compass direction. They can draw our compass direction. And we always say that a compass, this is an instrument. This is how we represent the instrument called a compass. And we also draw the compass directions. It's from the compass that we get the compass directions. So this pointer always points the north. So if you are asked, which direction does the pointer of a compass face while at rest? It faces the northern direction. Now, this compass has got the compass directions that will make us to understand. We are having here, that is east. We represent it with letter E, capital, to mean east. Here is north. This is south. And this one is the west. So these are the major 4 compass directions that we call cardinal points. I know you must have learned about this in primary 3. We call them the cardinal points. Another name to mean cardinal points, we can also call them primary points. So if someone asks you, write any 3 or write down the 4 primary points of the compass, then you will be able to know that we have east, then we have south, we have west, and lastly we have north. These are the cardinal points of what? A compass. Also note that in between these cardinals, we also have other compass directions. For example, between north and east, we shall have another compass direction. Between east and south, we have another compass direction. Between south and west, we have another compass direction. Between north and west, we have another compass what? Direction. So at the end of it all, we shall also be having some points here. We shall be having this kind of drawing. So we are going to have our diagram drawn like this, which means we are going to give these ones also their names. The ones that we are saying they are found in between the cardinal points. Which name are we going to give to them? We call it the other ones cardinal points or primary points. Which means if the other ones are primary points, one can call these ones secondary points. Secondary points. Another name is semi-cardinal points. So we can call them semi-cardinal points. Don't get confused with these things. So the semi-cardinal points, we are going to baptize them. We are saying there is one which lies between north and east. This is going to be given the name, northeast. Northeast, because it's between north and east. So we shall call it northeast. We can have examples here, northeast. Then the other one is between south and east. We begin from this main. We can't say east, south. No, we begin from this. We begin with either north or south. So if this one is in the south, then we can call it southeast. That is southeast. Then we come to between south and west. We are going to have this as southwest. This one we say is southeast. Then automatically this one will be, how can we bring this? It will not be west-north. Remember I said we begin from this. So here we take the first, that will be northwest. So our answer will be northwest. So we are adding another example is southwest and lastly northwest. So those are the semi-cardinal points of a compass. In case you are asked to draw, we call them compass directions. Now, the other element of a map that we need to understand would be for a key. But before we go to that, I want to bring to your attention that we have people who use a compass in their daily work. In their daily work or in their daily duties. We are going to look at these people. Which people are these who use a compass in their daily what? In their daily work or in their daily duties or jobs. So, who are these people? One, we have people who can be going to a place that they don't know, like to tour. People who go to tour places and they don't know the locations, they can also go with this compass. We call those ones tourists. Then we have people who climb mountains and adventuring. We call them mountain climbers. Do not forget, pilots need this instrument to locate places when they are flying the planes. Then we also have ship captains. The ship captains, these are people who use water transport, or you can sometimes call them captains of ships. They also use. Then we have rally drivers. We need to be very careful here. Sometimes children only write drivers, which will make the teacher to cross you, because there are very many drivers in our district who are driving their cars and they're not using compasses, simply because one can drive from his house, from his home to the market, to his workplace. Does that person need a compass? Obviously no. But we have the other rally drivers who race. They go to places that they may not be knowing, so they need to be having they will be given the map and they will be able to use the compass to help them locate those places. So we call them rally drivers. Be very careful when you're writing that. So these are people who use a compass in their daily activities. Now, let's come back to to others. We say you can also have the map key, and we say the map key that is where the symbols are represented. Map key. A map key. A map key, we have said, it is where map symbols, we can call them signs and symbols, are represented. That is the importance of a map key. It is where the map symbols are represented, which means if we are having a map, you will find that this map will be having very many things, very many drawings in it, very many ways they can have some shadings. But now if you are just to look at those things on the map and there is no key to guide you, then you will not be able to understand what does this kind of symbol mean, what does this one represent, unless you're given the key. That's where you can go and read and you'll be able to interpret the symbols which are used on the map. An example is, if for example we have been given the map, let me have it as, let's say we have been given the map of Uganda. We have the map of Uganda here. Map of Uganda, and this map is drawn I'm going to summarize the elements of a map in this small map that I've drawn, but I'm sure you are able to see. So this is the map of our country, Uganda. It's a sketch map. This is how it looks like. Therefore, we are going to look at features can be drawn inside this map. Someone can draw things and has something like this. Something is drawn here. Something can be drawn here like this. Something can be drawn here. Something can be drawn here. Something can be here. So when things are drawn like that, you may not understand. One will be like, there are triangles. Here I can see triangles. Then there are some things which are having some funny shading. So if you are not understanding from the key, if there is no key to guide you, then you will not be able to understand what these symbols mean. Now, for you to be able to understand, you go to the key. The key will be drawn under that map because of no space. We are having it here. On the key, we are representing these features inside. You will find that on our key, there is something which is represented like this. Then someone tells you that when you see that one, then it means that one is a lake. When you see something represented like this, you know that one is for a mountain. So without this key, one cannot understand this. But when one sees the key, this person will be able to understand the signs and the symbols used on this map. So we simply say a key helps one to understand the map symbols which are used on a map. That is how simple we can understand that. Lastly, we are going to understand the other element of the map, that is a map scale. Hope you have understood the one of the key, and I believe you have understood a map title. Map title will always be, like I said, is put up on the map. That is the heading. Like here, if you were to get a heading for this map, I don't know which one you will have. Can you bring it out and we here? Map of Uganda. Showing. So we can have this as map of Uganda. We are giving this map a heading. Map of Uganda. Of course, it's for Uganda. But now, what does it show? We don't know. But we have known it is showing physical features. Physical features. For example, we are just giving this as an example of a heading. So our heading will be here. Remember, we said that heading helps us to understand what the map is all about. So before you even proceed, you will have understood that, this map is showing the physical features in Uganda. In that by the time you reach the key, you will be having, what is this physical feature? These are physical features. What is this one? So you will be able to understand that from the key. Lastly, I want to discuss with you about a scale, being one of the elements that a good map should have. So let's make it as our next subheading, a scale. We call it map scale. Map scale. Now, if I asked you a question, what is the work, or how important is a map scale on a map? What is it for? What is a map scale for? I know very many of us would fail this. So here, a map scale guides or helps you to calculate. It helps one to calculate the actual ground distance. A scale helps one to calculate the actual ground distance between two places. A scale helps one to calculate the actual ground distance between two places. What do we mean here? A scale does not calculate, and I want you to stop using that statement that a scale calculates. No, a scale cannot calculate. It helps one to calculate. Let's look at how it helps one to calculate. We are going to give one example following this map that we are having. You will find that this map can be having, like, it has places. Let us rub this so that we can have it clear. This is our map of Uganda, and an example is they can say this is point Y and there is point X. So we are having two towns, town X, town Y. Then they can say calculate the actual ground distance between town X and Y. Now, for us to be able to calculate this distance, they will also be giving us the scale. So this one here, this distance, remember it is this one we call the map distance, because it is the one of the map. This map distance will be in centimeters. For example, this can be 5 centimeters on the map. But remember, we are saying a scale now helps us to get difference. Map distance, ground distance. Now, on the ground, like they can give us a scale, like 1 centimeter represents maybe 10 kilometers. 1 centimeter represents 10 kilometers. Sometimes if they can't give you like this, they can show you like this, 1 to 10, which means 1 centimeter to 10 kilometers, meaning that 1 centimeter represents 10 what? Kilometers. Or they can represent it in the linear form, in the line form. 0. This can be maybe 2. Let's say this is 5. Then we have this is 10. This is 15. Of course, this is a scale. Now this is the one we call the linear scale. Linear scale. Now, this scale means that 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. Here to here is 5 kilometers. So, in our calculations, remember we are understanding how to calculate. We shall say, if the scale given says that 1 centimeter is representing 10 kilometers. Now, how about the 5 centimeters that they have given us on the map? So we shall say, now the 5 centimeters will be the 10 kilometers times the 5. Now we shall have this in square kilometers. When we have our simple mathematics, you can have it this side as your side graph. You can say 10 multiplied by 5. So that you get the accurate answer. So you will begin 5 times 0, that is a 0. Then 5 times 1 gives us 5. So your answer will be 50 square kilometers. This is now the ground distance. This is how we represent, this is how we calculate the scale. How we calculate the ground distance using the scale. Remember, I've said for us to be able to get the distance, we shall be given that scale. The scale will be given. Our work is to identify which unit has been, what is the distance on the map, and that distance always comes in centimeters. Then we shall multiply it by the scale and we shall get our answer. That is how we calculate. Remember, we said we are the ones who calculate, not the scale. As you see, I was the one calculating together with you. The scale is just there giving us what we are to use. So don't ever again say that a scale calculates. Don't. The scale does not use you. So in our next discussions, we are meant to go and we look at how the places can be got or can be located using the various ways that I promise to discuss with you when we meet in the next session. It has been so good having you enjoying this lesson together with me, and I always pray that you always access more and more of these lessons so that you'll be able to keep yourself updated as we shall be discussing our hope. Thank you. Have a nice time.